What happens when 8 of the fastest beings ever created are forced into a race where even the speed of light isn't fast enough to survive? And the track is about to stretch across the entire universe. 8 speedsters stand at the starting line: Wally West, Archie Sonic, Reverse Flash, Silver Surfer, Superman, Makkari, Blur, and XLR8. But this isn't an ordinary race. The track begins on Earth, stretches across the solar system and the universe, and eventually goes beyond known realities. There are 4 rounds, and after every round, the 2 slowest racers are eliminated. Round 1. 1 lap around Earth. The rules are simple. Run around the entire planet and return to the starting point. No shortcuts, no tricks, just speed. Red light, yellow light, green light. XLR8 launches immediately, his claws ripping into the ground. Within seconds, he's already ahead of everyone. Blur follows close behind, then Reverse Flash casually appears between them.
You two know this goes around the whole planet, right? Not just the parking lot.
Before they can respond, he's already disappeared over the horizon. Meanwhile, Wally and Sonic aren't even taking the race seriously. Sonic casually runs while tossing golden rings into the air and catching them. Silver Surfer doesn't even bother running, his board simply carries him forward. Superman flies through the sky with his arms crossed. Makkari even starts running backward while enjoying the scenery. Then everyone finally decides to accelerate. Wally vanishes instantly. Sonic explodes forward. Makkari becomes nothing more than a blur. Superman tears across the atmosphere. Silver Surfer tilts his board, and cosmic energy streaks across the horizon. XLR8 barely has time to react. When he finally looks around, everyone else has already finished. Now only XLR8 and Blur remain in the fight for last place. XLR8 is incredibly fast over short distances, but this is an entirely different challenge. He has to maintain his speed across an entire planet. By the time he reaches the Pacific Ocean, the heat building inside his body becomes unbearable. He loses control during a turn and gets launched into the air. He skips across the ocean like a stone before finally coming to a stop. Smoke pours from his body. Blur lasts longer. His engine screams so loudly that windows in the distance begin shattering, but eventually, even his machinery reaches its limit. His power runs out. He crosses the finish line second to last. XLR8 and Blur are eliminated. 6 racers remain. Round 2, the speed of light. This time, the track stretches across the entire solar system, and there's a terrifying new rule. A wall of light will chase every racer. It travels at the speed of light. It never slows down. It never misses. Matching its speed isn't enough. They have to outrun it. The race begins. The white wall of energy launches forward. Wally and Reverse Flash are already gone. Sonic transforms into a golden streak. Superman accelerates until he leaves almost no visible trail. Silver Surfer? He's lying casually on his board with his hands behind his head, and still staying ahead of the light. Sonic even turns around and starts running backward while tossing 3 golden rings into the air.
You guys see this thing? It's trying so hard.
But Makkari isn't laughing. She's pushing herself to her absolute limit. She's moving at the speed of light. But that's the problem. The light is moving just as fast. Slowly, the energy wall begins closing the distance. Heat starts spreading across her back. Then, suddenly, the white light consumes her completely. Makkari is eliminated. Only 5 racers remain. And now comes the truly insane part. Round 3, across the entire universe. Round 3, across the universe. The third round takes the remaining racers across the entire universe, and this time, Galactus himself is the judge. His attention immediately falls on the Silver Surfer, his former herald, but Galactus makes the rules clear.
Speed is not enough here. You must cross a distance that has no business being crossed at all. Begin.
The 5 remaining racers launch into the darkness. Wally, Sonic, and Silver Surfer immediately tear through billions of light years. For the first time, the Silver Surfer's board releases its full cosmic potential. Then the focus shifts to Superman. He's flying faster than he ever has before. But no matter how hard he pushes himself, the racers ahead continue pulling farther away. The Silver Surfer eventually looks back, far behind him. He notices a tiny red streak desperately trying to catch up. The surfer slows down just enough to fly alongside Superman. He mocks him, suggesting that Superman is nothing more than a powerful being who has traveled far beyond his natural environment, and Superman is beginning to understand the problem. The universe is simply too enormous. Even light itself would need billions of years to cross it. Soon, the other racers become tiny points of light, then they disappear completely. Superman is left alone in an endless sea of darkness. He may be one of the strongest beings alive, but against the sheer scale of the universe, raw strength means nothing. Superman is eliminated. Only 4 racers remain. Round 4, the Multiverse. Now the race enters something even bigger. The entire Multiverse. There is no host. There is no traditional finish line. The track stretches through every reality that has ever existed. Reverse Flash suddenly bursts into another universe, and immediately, he recognizes someone, Barry Allen. Reverse Flash races past him and casually punches Barry directly in the face. It's something he's wanted to do for years. For the first time during the race, Reverse Flash actually smiles. Meanwhile, Wally enters a completely unfamiliar reality. But something is wrong. The Justice League he knows doesn't exist here. Instead, an entirely different team stands in its place.
This is actually messed up.
Then Sonic enters another reality, and this one is even stranger. It doesn't look like a normal universe at all. It looks like a giant video game. Sonic simply grins. Without slowing down, he reaches out and grabs a golden ring as he passes, just like he did during the first round. Then the Silver Surfer reaches the next reality. Until now, he has looked almost unstoppable, but the moment he points his board toward the next universe, he stops. There's nothing ahead of him. This isn't outer space, it's the void between universes. There is no physical space for his board to travel through, no cosmic current for him to ride. The Silver Surfer has reached his limit. He's eliminated. Now only 3 remain: Wally West, Archie Sonic, Reverse Flash. Round 5, 2 sets of footprints. The final round begins, and for the first time, Reverse Flash can't pull ahead. Every shortcut and trick that helped him survive the earlier rounds is useless now. Wally and Sonic remain beside him effortlessly. stride for stride, neither one gives an inch, then something terrifying happens. The darkness behind Reverse Flash suddenly tears open, a pitch-black figure emerges. A skeletal hand reaches through the void and grabs Reverse Flash by the face. He desperately struggles to escape, but the figure drags him backward into the darkness. Reverse Flash disappears completely. Black Flash had come for him. He had cheated the Speed Force for too long, and now there were only two racers left, Wally West and Sonic. The two fastest competitors finally stop holding back. They unleash everything. But something strange happens. Neither one can gain an advantage. Wally accelerates. Sonic matches him. Sonic pushes harder. Wally matches him. They remain perfectly equal. Not even a millimeter separates them. Finally, two streaks of light cross the finish line at the absolute edge of existence. The judges look down, and there are two identical sets of footprints. Neither racer finished first. Neither finished second. They tied. Sonic reaches out his hand. Wally smiles and shakes it. After crossing the entire multiverse, neither one could prove he was faster, so they both won.